Alright, welcome to another what I have watched video. I have put this off actually of some reason, well, of several reasons I guess. I don't want to say I've been busy, but I've been tired and I haven't felt like doing it. I've just kept procrastinating. It should be fun to make videos, and I do think it's fun to make videos, but sometimes with these videos I kind of feel like I don't have enough to say about them, and that kind of discourages me a little bit to make the video. Maybe that can be part of the reason sometimes why I procrastinate. Uh, but I have a lot of stuff to talk about because I haven't done one of these videos for a while now. So I'm gonna try to be brief. I do not think I'm gonna be able to cover all of this, but I'm gonna talk about as many as possible. And I'm thinking that we're just gonna get started right away. Um, Conjuring, The Conjuring, movie by James Wan, I think his name is. This was a really creepy horror movie. Sometimes I can feel that they rely a little bit too much on cheap scares these days in horror movies, and with lingering cameras and cameras sort of sneaking up or something, things sneaking up on cameras or cameras moving slowly around corners, whatever. But it can be effective and done right, and I feel that it's actually done right in this one. Because James Wan said, I think he said in the special features that he wanted this movie to sort of stay with the viewers after it was finished, and it kind of did with me. Some movies you just forget about right away, but this movie at least stayed with me for a little while, and I enjoyed it. Some really creepy scenes, and it was good. Then we have another. We got a few new movies here. I guess I can start with them. Pacific Rim, just really over the top, fun action. I was thinking about this when I watched the movie that I don't know. This has to be one of the top movies, when it comes to CGI and over the top, extremely over the top action, and it definitely works. It's a lot of fun. Gonna have to watch this again, and I do. Don't quote me, but I have heard rumors about a sequel. I don't know if it's official, but it would be a lot of fun to see another one. Then we have Grown Ups 2. It was horrible. I mean, I kind of enjoyed it because I like the actors involved. I don't know why I like them, because a lot of stuff they do, it's just not good. There was one good scene in this. Everything else was shit, to be honest. And that scene was the ending, where everything sort of comes together in a semi-clever way. Sometimes, for some parts of the sequence, that it's kind of clever. But overall, not really worth your time unless you're one of those people like me who just has to watch every Adam Sandler movie, for example. Why? I don't know. Although he is gonna make that Men, Woman and Children movie, or whatever, or it's gonna come out pretty soon. So maybe we'll see a change in his career. Well, he did make Punch Drunk Love, and he just went back to those movies after that, I guess. I don't know. But it's gonna be fun to see that movie. Next up is Phenomena. Really good chemistry in this one, and dialogue between Judi Dench and Steve Coogan. The main reason why I liked it so much, I think, has to do a lot with Judi Dench's performance. She was really good in this, really convincing in her part. But if it wasn't for Steve Coogan, there wouldn't be the chemistry, and so he deserves some props or whatever as well. And also he sort of made the movie. He wrote it and produced it, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, definitely another good one. Then Rush. The main thing I liked about this movie was the way the racing sequences was pulled off. They have cameras everywhere. They had like 30 cameras on set, or I don't know if it was a set, but they had 30 cameras, going in all these cool angles, and the way they edited the whole sequences together, where the Formula One cars are driving, and the colors of it all, it just looks terrific. So I do recommend that one. Up in the Air, seen this one before, semi-new movie. Well, not really, it's 5 years old, so not really new. I do still kind of see this as a sort of a new movie though, for some reason. But yeah, I've seen this before, felt like getting it, watching it again, and it's good. it lost me a little bit into the movie. I felt that I wasn't as into it as I wanted to be, but for a lot of parts in this movie, I really am into it. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, it's definitely good. And then we jump right back into the new movies again, not just new-ish. The Wolf of Wall Street. I was disappointed with this. I'm not gonna. I could rant about this, but I don't have time. Uh, it was fun. I expected more, and I thought it was good, but I just couldn't. I'm not sure if you're supposed to sympathize with the characters necessarily, but I didn't really think the characters were very good in any way. Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill, they did some good performances, but I don't know, I just couldn't, it was just so, I don't know what the word to describe it, it was very, in a way, very volatile. I couldn't seem to grab onto anything that I liked. It just was just excess of excess and nothing more, and I guess that's what the movie's supposed to be. Now I guess I've fallen into the rant crap, but anyway. No, I'll just mention that I liked it, but I think if I'll watch it again, I will like it more. I have heard people comparing it to Goodfellas though, and it's nowhere near the quality of that if you ask me, but it's maybe I'll change my opinion if I watch it again. I hope I will change my opinion because I love Martin Scorsese. I hoped that I would love the movie. I didn't. I liked it, but alright, anyway. 500 Days of Summer. Yeah, many Blu-rays in this one. Well, I've got many DVDs coming up too. Good movie. Definitely some creative stuff in here. I think I liked it more the first time I saw it. I don't know why, but it definitely is a good movie. This one, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pass on watching because the aspect ratio and picture quality is a little bit too weak for this particular movie. I wanna get it on Blu-ray instead eventually. It's Tombstone. It was a cheap DVD that I picked up a while back, so it's no big deal, but it is a little. It's too bad because I really was in the mood to watch it a few weeks ago, and I realized that I don't want to see this with these big bars, and with the crappy quality. I'd rather wait. Then we got a pretty shitty comedy. It's Office Rats, kind of like a poor man's Office Space. Does share some similarities. I mean, has a similar title even, kind of. I don't feel like I need to talk about it that much. It's just not that good. It's Sean Astin, David Cross, Michael Vartan, and it has maybe a couple laughs, but no more. It's okay. No, it's really not okay. It's a bad movie, so I guess I'd say stay away from it. Then we got a TV series, Eastbound and Down season 2. I have season 1 and remember liking it, so when I found the second and the third, I ordered both of them. I figured, well, I enjoyed the first one, so I'll just get both at the same time because they were cheap. But I really did not like this season. I did not think that it was very good. It's just very, very raunchy just for the sake of being raunchy. Not really very clever at all, just over the top, in your face. I guess maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I'm not saying that they've done a bad job with it. I'm sure they know what show they want to make, but it's not for me. I'm hoping that the third season will be better though. I actually have it over here. I'm about to unbox it, spoiler. Yeah, it's okay this season. Like I said, I hope that I will like the third one more. Then we got a movie I watched yesterday. Can't say I enjoyed it too much. Sometimes you're not in the right frame of mind, well, in the right mood to watch a certain movie. And I don't think I was in the mood to watch this yesterday, but I watched it anyway, and maybe that's a bad idea. But Nobody's Baby, it's called. Fairly obscure comedy, I think. It's with the Gary Oldman, Skeet Ulrich, and you have another couple of famous actresses, Anna Gunn from Breaking Bad, and Mary Steenburgen, I think her name is. She's married to Ted Danson. That's always what I think about when I think of her. I don't know why. But this is okay. It's about the two managed to escape from jail because of a bit of a coincidence, I guess you could say. And one of the guys, he finds a baby. The car crashes, and the only survivor is a baby. So he rescues the baby, and it's sort of about. And then Gary Oldman comes back because they've been separated with the robbery. After the escape, they've been separated. And then they get back together and sort of try to make some money out of this baby. That doesn't sound right. They try to, well, it's not right, but they try to bribe someone. They're thinking, well, somebody has to want this baby. It belongs to someone, so we'll bribe that person, or whatever. Things doesn't really go along their plans or whatever. But it was fun. It was fun, sure, but I don't know. It wasn't great. Let's see here. Lots of stuff to go. A Good Year, movie by Russell Crowe. No, with Russell Crowe, by Ridley Scott. Very unlikable character, Russell Crowe. He is very arrogant, very unsympathetic. You can't really sympathize with him. Not even in the ending. I didn't feel like there was some sort of redemption or whatever. But he, I don't know. He is very fancy and posh and whatever. And I didn't like his character. And not really any other interesting characters either. And the plot, I actually have had this on my Amazon wishlist for a while because I thought that it sounded like a cozy movie, and it could have been, but I really could not get into it. No. Then we have two movie feature here: Miracle on 24th Street, the original and the remake. I actually bought this one last Christmas, or a month before last Christmas or so, along with a bunch of Christmas movies, with the intent to watch them all before Christmas. But I didn't end up watching them all before Christmas. I did see the original before Christmas, but then I just watched the remake recently, a week ago or so. I don't know why I felt like watching that one now, I just did. The original is definitely a good Christmas movie that I'll watch again this Christmas if I can find the time, because there's a lot of Christmas movies that I want to watch. The remake, 50 years later, 47 years later, maybe? 50, 60, 70, yeah, 47 years later, is... The only good thing about it really is Richard Attenborough, sorry. Rest in peace, by the way. He's great as Santa Claus. But then they've changed some things, definitely not for the better, and overall the movie is pretty tame and it's pretty corny, and it doesn't work that great. But because of Richard Attenborough's performance, I'd say it's worth checking out too. But you might just want to stick to the original. It's not necessary, if you will, to watch the remake. But anyway, maybe as a tribute to Richard Attenborough, if nothing else. Then we have a superhero movie which I liked, but I was a little bit disappointed, or well, not necessarily disappointed, but it was a little hit and miss for me. It's Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I guess it's a little bit better than the original, but the first one. But it's not a huge improvement, at least not on first viewing. It's very over the top action-wise, obviously, but it's also very over the top plot-wise. I just have a problem with that sometimes. I feel like they're indulging a little bit too much, and they're like more is more is more is more with every aspect of the movie, and I don't know. I just some fun action sequences, but they don't stand out to me. They're kind of generic. Just I don't know. It was good. I enjoyed watching it. It was my Saturday night feature for whatever weekend it was. I think last weekend. But I can't say I loved it. Gotta check the time here. All right. Then we have a miniseries called Neverwhere, which is by Neil Gaiman. Actually, I have the book here, and I dropped another one, but I have Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, which I thought actually that this miniseries was based on the book, because that's usually the case, but it's the other way around. Neil Gaiman made this, but he wrote it. He had to sort of compromise a little bit too much with the studio or with BBC or whatever, and with producers, etc. So he felt that he didn't really get his vision across. So I believe while they were shooting, he put his stuff back into the book that he was, writing while they were shooting, which is pretty interesting. But I read the book before and actually thought the whole time when I watched the series after that it was based on the book, not the other way around. Or they were kind of made, in parallel to each other, or at the same time. But I can't say. I think that the book works better than the miniseries because it doesn't have a terribly large budget. It's a TV production. Some things look pretty cheap in this and ugly, but in the book you can make your own images in your head, obviously, and they don't transfer as well into this. But anyway, I'm gonna try to be more brief about the next few titles. But Bored to Death Season 2. A very funny show, I really like it. Great chemistry, great comedic chemistry between the three starring actors here, Jason Schwartzman, Ted Danson and Zach Galifianakis. Especially like Ted Danson, I gotta say. Gonna pick up Season 3 eventually. I really feel like doing it right away because I'm really enjoying this show. Definitely recommended. This next one was a complete blind buy from a Goodwill type place nearby that I'd never visited before, but I will definitely go back to. It's called Escape from Absalom, but I think it's also known as No Escape. And I'm not going to go into what it's about. I could talk about this for many minutes, but yeah, it's just a very fun, kind of cheesy cult 90s action dystopian movie. It's from 1994. Stars Ray Liotta. I don't think that Ray Liotta was maybe the absolute best choice for this. I guess it was a few years after Goodfellas, so it makes sense. But yeah, he's not the person I think of when I think of these characters. Anyway, definitely recommended. A lot of fun. I mean, it's not a great movie, but it is very good for what it is. Then I guess I'll just show these two shows after each other because I couldn't get into any of them, unfortunately. Well, I kind of did at one point and then I got out of them. And I couldn't bother to get it back into them again. But the first show is Justified. Got the first and second season. This one is still sealed because I only watched a few episodes, well, maybe 6 episodes. So about half the season. But I didn't get into it, unfortunately. And same thing with, but I got season 2 for a cheap price. I could mention, so it's not a waste or anything. But I did hope that I would like it, but oh well. Second show that I unfortunately did not like, don't hate me, is Hannibal. I just can't get into it. I don't have the. It is good. It's well made. I love the gruesome murders, but I don't know, it just has such a big story arc. I don't have the concentration or interest to stay focused the whole time and to follow along with all of these clues and all of these whatever. It's just not a show that I have the concentration to watch. I think that's the main problem, and that's too bad because if I had the concentration, I think I would enjoy it a lot more. So it doesn't have to do with the fact that I don't like what I'm seeing. It just has to do with the fact that I have a fucked up mind. I can't follow it really. I guess I could, be more eloquent about that, but whatever. Next one is a pretty interesting documentary. Glastonbury. It's a UK music festival that started in 1970, and I think it's still going. This movie is from 2006, so it's been going for a long time. Yeah, apparently the biggest in the world. It says so here on the back anyway. And it's a pretty long documentary, 2 hours 17 minutes about the festival. And it's you definitely do get the sense of how it might be to be at the festival, and it's a pretty good presentation of it overall. But yeah, there was something I didn't like about it. I don't know exactly what, but it just didn't grab me at all. It didn't really stay with me at all. And then I'll show this. This is one of those very rare times when you see a movie, because this is not a fucking movie, where you just dislike everything about it. It's wow, you know. Anyway, it's a documentary and it's called Death Metal, Are We Watching You Die? I bought this at Sweden Rock Festival for I think 13 euros. Not worth it. It just consists of a bunch of musicians from metal bands, some death metal bands, sure, but also I don't know his name, Attila something, maybe that was him. I don't know. From wow, what's their name? Mayhem. He's a former member, I think. I should know that for sure, but I think he is. Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth, Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse, a couple members from Marduk, a couple members from Chrysian, the Brazilian, I think, death metal band. It's interviews with these members, and they're just, it's like they put an iPhone or something on a tripod, and they interview them about whatever. I don't know. It's whatever. I don't like it. Let's see. Then we have the White Ribbon and the White Ribbon. I bought this not knowing that it was an ex-rental. I ordered it. It was cheap though, and I actually got my money back because I emailed the place and I was like, this was an ex-rental and it doesn't say anything about that on the website. So could you maybe give me my money back or send me another one which is not an ex-rental? Maybe a little bit silly of me to do, but I don't want an ex-rental of this. So I actually bought the Artificial Eye. They did give me my money back, by the way. I bought an Artificial Eye release of this movie instead. It's the exact same thing, the same contents, no difference I don't think at all. It's just a proper release, and the movie was great. Very mysterious movie, very well shot, very good dialogue, great characters, and chemistry between them is very interesting. Some scenes are really tense, and yeah, that's another one that I could talk about for a much longer time. You know what? I just checked on the back, on the front or back of the camera, whatever, on the other side of the camera, and the battery is running low, so I'm gonna stop here. I do have a few more things to talk about, but I'm gonna save them for the next update or the next video. But I did manage to cover pretty many titles in this one. Sorry if I'm rushing, but I just feel like I need to get some of the stuff out of the way. But as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much, as always, and now I'm gonna go to the gym and do legs.